A quiet alley. A silver coin flicks up in the air. Ding! Hits the pavement like destiny tapping you on the shoulder. And out of the shadows steps Joey freaking Dimes, the only guy in the tri-state who could hit a fly off a cannoli at 40 yards without spilling the cream. He ain't flashy. He ain't loud. He ain't one of these online tough guys talking like they're button men from the 80s. Nah, Joey's the real deal, steady hands, colder nerves, and a cigar that somehow never falls out of his mouth, even when he's dodging bullets or dodging his ex-wife. Introducing Joey Dimes, the Precision Collection. A high-end lifestyle line inspired by the man who never misses. Not shots, not cues, not opportunities. Product lineup. 1 Joey Dimes signature shades. Tagline. When you need to look cool while seeing everything. Impact resistant, mob chic, and guaranteed to make any rat nervous. 2 The 10-spot cologne. Earthy, smoky, slightly dangerous. Smells like respect mixed with the faint hint of a freshly oiled revolver. 3 The coin flip lighter. Every spark is a decision. Flip the top like a dime. Flame pops like a promise. 4 The Dimes Deck, 20-card poker set. A gentleman's tool for intimidation and recreation, stacked, marked, or blessed by the gambling saints. We're not saying. But Joey wins every time. Joey Dimes, because some men are born lucky and others make their luck.
Mugs, what the fuck you doing in there, you prick?
Pizzaverse strong, motherfucker strong.
Bambi Palermo, running around Pizzaverse. Fuck you and Pizzaverse.
A Pizzaverse Grimm Tale, The Frogfather. A Pizzaverse Studios production. Written by Bambi Palermo, narrated by Vincent Vini. Di Prio, consigliere of your heart. Before the Pizzaverse rose high with neon and loyalty, before Impeach, Frank Pecoraro, Deb Roberts, and the whole crew were known as Guardians of the Streets, there was a swamp on the far edge of Staten Island. Not a cute Disney swamp, not a poetic swamp. Now this joint smelled like expired Parmigiana, burnt rubber, and guilt. And in that swamp, destiny made a mistake, a cosmic hiccup, because out of the muck crawled a creature with delusion in his heart and marinara on his breath. Tony Bum Pizza, future self-proclaimed Frogfather. But he wasn't a frog yet, just a man with lies so big the universe said, you know what? No, we're turning this idiot into an amphibian. One lie at a time, Tony got greener, slimier, froggier, until one day pop, full transformation. Bulging eyes, wet skin, voice like a dying accordion. And that is where our real story begins. Tony set up a live stream throne on a lily pad the size of a pizza box. He put a tiny fedora on his frog head. He whittled a ring out of tin foil. And every night he croaked, I was a made frog. I mean, man, I ran crews. I knew bosses. I'm connected. Only thing he was connected to was a sewage pipe. Croaking, complaining, filming himself in 200 Marib like he was Coppola with a tripod. And yet he had a dream. To be respected, to be feared, to be called Don Tony the Frogfather, ruler of the murky kingdom. But rumors travel fast in the Pizzaverse, and across the kingdom, the crew was listening. In Admiral Impeach's dim-lit war room, he flicked ash off his cigar. All right, he said, voice like gravel in a blender. Which one of you schmucks keeps telling me about the frog who thinks he's Gotti? Aaron raised his hand, deadpan. Bro's out here croaking like he's got made guys in the swamp. Sun-Grown laughed, blowing smoke rings. He said he used to collect flies for the Genovese family. Deb smacked her notebook down. He said he knew Hoffa. Hoffa been dead for 50 years, Vinny. He's a frog. He don't even know what year it is. Frank Pecoraro leaned back, steepling his fingers. I place bets on humans, not amphibians. Joey Dimes grinned. What's the move, Capo? Impeach blew out a slow stream of smoke. Simple. We pay the swamp a visit. The Pizzaverse crew marched into the swamp like the cover of a mob fantasy album, cigars glowing, trench coats billowing, RoboCop's visor cutting through fog like a laser-guided truth beam. Tony Bum Pizza stood on his lily-pad throne, adjusting his tiny mafia fedora, trying to look intimidating. He croaked, "Welcome to my kingdom. You may approach the Frogfather." Sungrown snorted, "This dude's wetter than a Jersey thunderstorm." Deb scribbled furiously, "Amphibian exhibits delusions of criminal grandeur." Tony pointed his webbed finger dramatically. "You will kiss the ring!" He held up his foil-covered pinky. Joey Dimes leaned to Aaron, whispering, "Where he get foil? This swamp don't even got recycling." Aaron shrugged. "Maybe he mugged a Chipotle burrito." Impeach finally stepped forward, coat swaying like judgment itself. "Tony," he growled, "you ain't no Frogfather. You're just a frog with Wi-Fi." Tony gasped. "You dare disrespect me? I know things. I got connections." RoboCop scanned him. Lie detected. Species. Frogus delusionus. Danger level. Moist. Deb choked, laughing. Frank wiped a tear. Impeach looked around. "Nah, this ain't a Don. This is a flop." To honor tradition, they held a formal sit-down. A negotiation. Out around a stump table covered in moss, the Pizzaverse crew sat solemnly as the Frogfather hopped atop a damp rock. Tony croaked, "I demand tribute from your kingdom. I want respect, power, gifts, a throne made of gold." Aaron blinked. "Bro, you're barely sitting on a rock." Frank slid a chip across the stump. "I bet 10-1 he croaks mid-sentence." Tony puffed up his throat, froggy chest swelling. "You cannot challenge me. I am the Frogfather." Impeach sighed. "Tony, you can barely challenge a mosquito." Tony slammed a tiny frog fist onto the stump. "Enough! I want your loyalty, your honor, your kingdom." Deb leaned in. "You're a frog with a YouTube channel and 3 viewers, 2 of which are bots." Tony hopped in outrage. "I have influence." RoboCop scanned again. Analysis. Frog exhibits 0 credibility, 0 influence, and possible fungal infection. Aaron nodded, serious. "Yup, that's fungus." Impeach put out his cigar against a wet rock. "All right, that's it." At midnight, torches lit the swamp. Fireflies hovered like glowing jurors. The Pizzaverse crew sat in judgment around a stone circle. Tony Bum Pizza sat in the middle on a lily pad defendant's chair, quivering. RoboCop read the charges. 1. Spreading lies across the kingdom. 2. Impersonation of a Don while lacking all Don qualities. 3. Crimes against taste, class, and Wi-Fi stability. 4. Public nuisance. 5. Being unbearably damp. Tony squealed, "I plead innocent. You're all jealous." Deb didn't even look up. "Jealous of what, Tony? Your ability to attract mosquitoes?" Sungrown took a drag. "Bro, even the swamp stink left when you arrived." Frank Pecoraro leaned forward. "Guilty. No deliberation needed." Joey Dimes lifted a hand. "I say we sentence him to a lifetime of being himself. That's enough punishment." Aaron nodded solemnly. "Yeah, let him stew in the swamp of his own nonsense." Impeach raised his palm. "The verdict is unanimous. Tony Bum Pizza, you ain't the Frogfather. You ain't royalty. You ain't feared. You are hereby banished back to the muck until you evolve into something that ain't embarrassing." Tony shrieked, "You can't do this. I'm in the life." RoboCop's visor dimmed. "Correction, you are in the mud." Under torchlight, Tony was escorted back into the swamp. He hopped dramatically, croaking over his shoulder. "You'll regret this. I had power once." Deb sighed. "No, you didn't." Tony hopped again. "I was feared." Joey called out, "You were weird, not feared." Tony hopped deeper into darkness. "I am the Frogfather ear." Impeach yelled after him, "Then go rule the pond, your majesty!" And with a dramatic splash, he vanished beneath the algae. The swamp rippled. Tony croaked faintly, "I was in the leafy." Then silence. Dawn rose over the Pizzaverse kingdom. The crew walked home.
You ever wake up in a hotel room with no pants, a fake passport, and 3 missed calls from your ex-wife and your parole officer? Yeah? Then you need alibi shades. Courtrooms, backdoor meeting, or the back of a police car. Developed by the same guys who invented selective memory, these shades are designed to block flashbangs, questions, eye contact with snitches, the crushing weight of moral responsibility. Alibi shades. I ain't seen nothing, officer, just the sunrise and my manicure. Alibi shades in interrogation black, snitch-proof smoke, and witness protection chrome. Alibi shades for when you gotta look the DA dead in the face and say, "Never met the guy." Available at Lou Carboni's Pawn and Optometry, under Bambi's mattress and select glove compartments in Newark.
Sun-grown stretched. Well, that was educational. Aaron nodded. Yeah, morals everywhere. Frank counted bills. Easy money. RoboCop processed evidence. Case closed. Deb closed her notebook. Headline: Former man-turned-frog attempts mob takeover, fails spectacularly. Joey Dimes cracked his knuckles. Another day, another swamp clown. Impeach lit another cigar. We ain't here to crush dreams. We're here to crush delusions. The kingdom stood tall again. No more croaking, no more foil rings, no more swamp royalty. Just loyalty, truth, and the Pizzaverse way. Moral of the story: you can dress up a frog in a crown, but he's still gonna jump back in the mud. Respect ain't something you claim, it's something you earn. And lies? They don't turn frogs into kings, they turn men into frogs. So, kid, whenever you hear someone croaking online about how tough they are, how connected they used to be, how they were in the life, just remember, even frogs think they're lions when they're yelling into the void. The kingdom stands firm. The crew stands loyal. And the Frogfather, he's somewhere in the swamp arguing with a turtle. If you enjoyed this Pizzaverse Grimm tale, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and join the family, because in the Pizzaverse, sweetheart, we don't rewrite fairy tales, we whack 'em and make 'em epic. Credits Tony Bum Pizza as the Frogfather, actual frog, no makeup, slimy by nature. Admiral Impeach as the guy who's had enough of everyone's bullshit. Frank Pecoraro as high-stakes gambler who bet against the frog and won. Aaron as street philosopher, occasional translator of frog nonsense. Sun-grown Tricom as smoke specialist, frog behavior analyst. RoboCop as law enforcement with zero patience. Error code 407, frog detected. Deborah Roberts as journalist who knew this was stupid but covered it anyway. Joey Dimes as the guy who could sell water to a frog in a swamp. Additional characters: swamp mosquitoes as Tony's only real followers. 3 random turtles as confused onlookers. A very angry heron as almost ate Tony. Voiceover Vincent DiPrio, aka Vinny, as narrator who needs a raise and a shot of espresso after this. ART and design character designer. The guy in the studio who said, "Yeah, let's give the frog a fedora. What could go wrong?" Background artist, Sally from accounting. Turns out she draws a mean swamp. Swamp FX supervisor, Nature. Thanks, Nature. Music original score, KFAM, Concrete Loyalty, Swamp Remix. Special track, Who Let the Frogs Out by the Pizzaverse Choir. We regret recording this song. Cinematography shot entirely on location in a real swamp, a fake swamp, impeaches backyard after a storm. Stunts Tony Bum Pizza performed all his own stunts, including slipping off lily pads, getting tangled in algae, croaking aggressively, running from a turtle. Cleanup crew Deb Roberts cleaned up the script. RoboCop cleaned up the swamp. Sungrown cleaned up the vibes. Catering Pizzaverse. Catering menu included frog legs, Tony left early, cannolis, impeaches cigar ashes, unintentional, Sungrown's brownies, everyone works slower afterward. Budget, total budget, $42,87, spent mostly on Tony's tiny fedora. Legal disclaimers. No frogs were harmed in the making of this film. One frog was insulted repeatedly. He had it coming. Director's note. Next time we do a Grimm tale, let's pick something without amphibians. Admiral Impeach. If you laughed, smiled, or spit your drink at any point, hit that subscribe button, smash the bell, and join the Pizzaverse, where even our fairy tales got attitudes and our frogs got criminal records.